everyone. We began with Time Twister Tuesday, Vintage Masters and Modern. We've just battled our way through Wingmate Wednesday with all the Absandex running around. Brian David Marshall, here we are, 20 players down, 4 still to go, come back on Sunday. What a day Wednesday's been.
This has been unbelievable. And to have this top 4 going forward on the week is just unbelievable, right? To have, the last 2 winners of this event, to have a finalist from Worlds in 2007, and to have, someone who's like, oh, I'm just going to top 4 the GP, last weekend, and now I'm going to top 4 the World Championship. Yamamoto, this is just an unreal field, and we have some epic magic in store for us on Sunday.
We really do. Why don't we take a look at the big master scoreboard, show you where the chips fell. 24 players came in, and here we are. This is what we have to work with. On 10, 3, and 1, your number 1 seed, twice Player of the Year, Yuya Watanabe.
Yuya Watanabe started his career out as the Rookie of the Year.
Right.
And has just been a force in Magic ever since. One of the most dominant Grand Prix players in history, a player dominant at the Pro Tour. And then when the Players' Championship was the inaugural event, that eventually became the World Championship, he won that event. Mm-hmm. And, just coming off a recent Pro Tour top 8, and now, the number 1 seed going into the semifinals on Sunday, just an unbelievable career already for Yuya Watanabe. And oh, by the way, he's 25 years old. He has over 400 lifetime pro points and counting.
Right. Oh, and by the way, he started out 0-2 in Vintage Masters and was 1-3 after 4 rounds.
Right. I get
Has not lost.
Someone on the floor looked up at the standings. So he's, wait a minute, wasn't like Watanabe like 0-6?
Right.
Which is what an 0-2 start for Yuya Watanabe feels like.
Sure.
Right. The sort of formula for a normal Magic player is 0-6.
Right. So that's Watanabe in seat number 1. Number 2, well, it says 10-4, but actually he's played 33 of the 35 rounds he wants. Explain what we mean by that for Patrick Chapin.
So Patrick Chapin won Pro Tour journey into Knicks. That is what qualified him to play in the World Championship. And that is exactly how he viewed that tournament. For 20 years, since hearing about Zach Dolan winning the World Championship in 1994, the sort of northern star in Patrick Chapin's career has been being crowned Magic's world champion for 20 years. And so he, assumed that, I'll be qualified for the World Championships every year when the World Championships was part of the Pro Tour circuit, and they sort of event rolled into event. But when it became this much more exclusive tournament, now he has a job, he's like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna make sure I'm qualified for that? And to do that, he had to win a Pro Tour. And he said at the end of that Pro Tour, he's like, well, this was my PTQ.
Right.
This was my PTQ.
Which is astonishing.
Yeah, absolutely astonishing. Comes in here with this single-minded, blinders on that I'm gonna win the World Championship, and really has just dominated this field right up until, the last round.
I'm going to do this in a different order intentionally. I'm going to skip number 3 for a moment.
Okay.
And go to number 4, and here's why. Patrick Chapin very nearly won the World Championship in 2007 in New York. In the final, he lost to Uri Peleg of Israel. Let's have a look at number 4. Shahar Shenhar of Israel, the reigning world champion. BDM, speak. Never mind whether those two face off again in a USA-Israel confrontation. Talk to us about Shahar making this defense of his title.
Hey, this is unbelievable. Shahar really shocked the world last year. Yeah, he was a well-respected player, but someone that I think you sort of bunched into the middle of the pack of the field when you start picking off what your fantasy top 4 is. Shahar's probably not the name that leapt to mind there.
Well, he was a Grand Prix winner,
right? And
he didn't have a Pro Tour top 8,
right? And now he comes into this event world champion, had a somewhat quiet year, but 2 Grand Prix leading up to this event, put up very, very strong finishes, and here he is in a position, he's going to be, I assume the seeding here is going to be 1 plays 4 in the semifinals. So we're going to see a semifinal showdown between the last 2 winners of this event.
Wow. Watanabe 2012, Shenhar 2013.
Yeah.
One of them makes the final. And then, let's go back to number 3. And the second, now, who would have thought this? We had 9 US competitors in the 24, got there through a combination of fantastic achievements. We had 3 Japanese players. 2 of the 3 Japanese players have made the top 4. Oh, and by the way, Yuki Ichikawa finished 6th out of 24. Brilliant performance by Japan.
Yep.
And it is Kentaro Yamamoto who joins the illustrious 3 in the final 4.
Yeah, you know, Yamamoto's someone who had a Pro Tour top 8 early in his career, playing in the Two-Headed Giant Pro Tour.
Right, San Diego, 2007.
San Diego. Yes, absolutely. Kind of, played some Grand Prix, was still there, but has recently come on, to, put up, Pro Tour top 8 finish at Pro Tour Theros, where, we jokingly said he ruined Magic because he's the guy who discovered that Pack Rat was a playable card.
Right.
By the way, we talked about recent Grand Prix finishes. They don't get much more recent than Grand Prix Strasbourg last weekend. Not even last week. It's not even last weekend because it's not next weekend yet.
Yeah.
The other day.
3 days ago, on his way here.
The other day, he top 4'd a Grand Prix.
Right. Incredible performance, incredible 4. We can't go through all 24 for you, but let's just pick out a couple of other names that we think have done particularly well. I would certainly like to mention Lars Dam of Thailand, the Dane who is the Thai national captain this year. You'll see him later in the week. 7-7. I'm sure he will be very, very pleased with going toe-to-toe with players who he privately says, these are the absolute best. And I've just done really well to qualify here, and I'm going to have some fun. I think that 7-7 is a tremendous performance by him.
Absolutely. I have to look at Sean McLaren. Again, Sean McLaren's pro career is still very young. Of the top players in this room, with a similar resume, he really has the fewest Pro Tours.
Right.
Or close. I guess he and Ichikawa are comparable numbers.
Sure.
So, we can mention Ichikawa as well. Both of those guys have single-digit Pro Tours under their belts. And both of those players have 2 Pro Tour top 8s under their belt, and now they both have a very strong finish here at Worlds.
All right, so it's only Wednesday night right now, but they don't come back tomorrow, and they don't come back on Friday because we're a bit busy with 72 countries and 288 players for day 1 of the World Magic Cup. Do they come back Saturday?
Some of them do. Some of the World Magic Cup teams.
Right, because 32 teams come back for the World Magic Cup, then 16, and then we get to Sunday.
So, by the way, you said, will these guys be playing? Actually, Yuya Watanabe and
Shahar
Shenhar will both be playing Friday and Saturday.
So they are the 2 remaining dream chasers. 11 players came in to the World Championship knowing they could be playing on all 5 days and end Sunday with a World Championship trophy in one hand and a World Magic Cup trophy in the other.
That's called the full Finkel?
Something like that. Brussels 2000. John Finkel, the only man ever to do that. Individual world title, team world title in the same tournament. Japan and Israel are the 2 countries that could make that happen for Watanabe and Shenhar. That's all on Sunday. Quarterfinals, semi-finals and final of the World Magic Cup. Best 3 out of 5 in the semi-finals. It's standard, so we've seen the deck. Sometime today, we saw the deck in action that is going to be the World Championship winning deck. We also saw the World Champion in action. Who will it be? You have 4 days to wait to find out, but we're going to keep you company almost every step of the way. World Magic Cup starts on Friday for all the team, all the 24 players at the World Championship. Thanks to them for being such great ambassadors for the game we all love and such skilled players. My Lord, they have demonstrated they truly are the best of the best.
Absolutely. It's just been a stunning display. Can't wait to see who wins. Can't wait to see the World Magic Cup.
Until we meet again on Friday morning for day 1 of the World Magic Cup, for Brian David Marshall and all the team, I'm your host, Rich Hagon, saying bye.